going on, guys? So I'm just going to open this up with a little open discussion. We're trying something new, and we want to see in the comments what you like better. We're going to do a little bit of different format tonight for our podcast. And so just as always, I'm Jordan.
TJ.
I'm RD.
And I'm Pops.
And this is the Men's Club Podcast. So just starting out, we've got a little bit of an unboxing today, and we're going to see what's going on with some Shady Rays and a cigar, I believe.
That's right. First of all, this, like I said, we're trying new things, and I thought I'd do an unboxing in this podcast of some sunglasses and of a cigar that one of our viewers had sent to me. He, personal friend, let me make that note first, it's a personal friend, so I knew that the cigar was fine, but it's one that he wanted me to try.
No anthrax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've never tried this particular cigar. I have tried the 1502s before. I've tried the Emerald, and I've actually tried I believe the Black Gold, and I like both of those. And so he has sent me a new one to try, so I'm going to try it tonight on the podcast. And while I'm doing that, I've got some sunglasses that Jordan was talking about. First of all, let's do the cigar, and this is the reason why I want to go first, because I get to smoke through the entire podcast. So as we go with it.
If it's bad and we all start coughing and dying,
I was say if we all fall,
that'll be what it is.
We all fall on the floor. I guess you'll never see this. So. Well, if I start dying, it is anthrax, and he should stop smoking. I feel for his safety.
Move some of this stuff out of the way here.
There's a cyanide capsule. It just time releases into the air.
But first of all, like I said, it's the 1502. It's the Sapphire edition of the 1502. Enrique Sanchez is the one that actually the owner of the company that came up with this line. They actually have 4 different lines, but this is one that they're proud of. It's actually a hand rolled. It's not a machine rolled cigar. It's a hand rolled cigar. It actually debuted in 2016 at the trade show. They was really proud of it. It only comes in one size. That's something that's a little bit different. And a lot of times you don't see that happening because you have different sizes of cigars, but it only comes in one size. It's a 16 by 52. It's actually, that's why it's a Toro Gordo is what they actually call that. Mm-hmm. And the wrapper is amazing. The band is amazing. The artwork on the band, it just has a very regal look to it. It has a very clean look to it.
Let me throw in a quick question, just since we're already in the topic here. Is it because it's hand rolled? Is that why they only come in one size, or
no?
Is it just a production decision that they had made as a company, or?
I'm assuming it was probably a decision that they made, because even the premium hand rolled cigars, you still get them in different sizes. You still get them in the smaller gauges, the longer lengths, even the smaller cigarettos and things like that. You still get those hand rolled. So it's not necessarily a lack of being able to do it. It's just they just made a decision that they was just going to make it in one size. Little controversy over in my research of this. And like I said, I haven't smoked this one before, but at one time, Enrique, I reckon the company is I won't say it's Global Production. I don't quote me on that, but I think it's Global Production is actually the company that uses it. They were actually going to make a box cigar, same size, just a box. And when I say box, and as y'all can probably see, this is perfectly round. A box, on the other hand, would be a square. It's box press is what they call it. And they were actually going to do that, but nobody can seem to find any of the box pressed cigars out there. But even though they were listed in their advertisements.
I actually had a question too. I heard you say the Sapphire and the Emerald. Is that the same line that you put me on back when we went to the cigar lounge last? It was in those like really nice tubes that had the different like emerald on it.
No, actually that was a different one. That's actually I won't say that was Arturo Flores, but I won't say that was we actually did that with. But just to give you an idea of kind of what this tastes like, or what I've been told that it tastes like anyway, is that it has a lot of the I like Olivia's. Mm-hmm. And the Olivia V series, which I don't know if any of y'all have ever smoked any of the V series, but it has a lot of that same kind of texture to it.
I wish I could tell you what all I've smoked. I don't know.
I know for a fact we have.
You took it in a totally different direction than I did. I smoked cigars because I found it fun, found it interesting to sit around and talk. you're like, I'm going to become a collector of this. I'm going to, not even just like a collector of cigars, but what I'm going to become is a collector of experiences. And that's why I think you remember all the ones that you've smoked and you've had.
Well, that makes a difference. I mean, and there's so many different palates and flavors when it comes to smoking cigars. Matter of fact, a little secret that I'm going to tell later, if I taste it, there's a secret ingredient that comes with this. I was doing my research with it.
It's anthrax.
That you're supposed to be able to taste it, and it's gonna kind of, I guess it will kind of key into why it's called Sapphire. But if I taste it, I'll let you know here in a little bit. But here's another very, I said it's hand rolled. This is a very good quality cigar. It's hard to see it on the camera, of course, but when you sit here and look at it and you see a hand rolled cigar, one of the things that you look for in them is the veins. Does it have very prominent veins in it? Are they bumps in it? And that's you'd think that would be something that would be bad, but actually that is a good sign. That when you see that there's prominent veins in the leaf, when you see there's small bumps in the leaf, that tells you that it's going to have a lot of flavor to it.
Tell you what, let's take a moment here, and I'm going to insert a cut here for y'all.
Well, while we're overlaying, I would assume that that's the sort of same principle as with anything. Those veins, those bumps, that's all going to give you surface area, right?
Yeah, it does.
Sit up there.
Now I'm going to say, since we're back in here, I'll probably do that a few times in this video. I'm woefully unprepared for what we're doing here today, but I do want to get some pictures of everything that we're presenting, just so I can overlay them in the video and really get where y'all can see what we're talking about. Like you'll be able to see the ring on that one, and it's very regal, like he was saying. It is extremely dressed up. I mean, it almost looks royal. I would guess.
Yeah.
I guess
that is a good one. Also, what I was going to say also about this, so it's hand rolled. It is a Nicaraguan Puro, which is something, and I know I'm throwing out a lot of words that some of you may not understand, but if you smoke cigars, you understand exactly what I'm saying when I say a Puro. It means it's pure.
It sounds like only Nicaragua.
Well, that's what it is, exactly.
Well, I mean,
the binder, the wrapper, the filler, it's all Nicaraguan. And that says a lot about the craftsmanship of it, because the fact is that they didn't use any other, a lot of cigars, especially some of your cheaper, I won't say cheaper, lesser cigars, they will add filler to them that may be from another country just because they were able, while they were buying on market, they were able to get it cheaper.
Yeah.
So and a lot of times you see that, most of the time you see that with your machine roll. The things that are actually using.
I was going to make a comment. I was like, that looks really neat, the way it's packed in there. Oh, you said 2016, right? Though. That's
2016 was when this product line
Okay,
debuted.
that product line.
So that's basically like the difference between like buying like an American bald eagle and then on the like painting and on the back it's like made in Portugal versus like buying an American painting that was made in America by Americans.
Correct.
No.
See, and one other, let me say this too, and I'm gonna put it around here, and I'm sure you can probably see that on the end. Like some of y'all can see that.
That look discoloration kind of.
Well,
it's got the wrap.
It's got the wrap that goes across it. That's called, that there's two different types that you'll see a lot of times when you're seeing cigars, especially the hand rolled ones. You'll see the open foot, which is what most of us are used to seeing, where there's no wrapping around it. Then you get what they call the partial foot, and that's what this is, where you see part, and then the closed foot. And the reason why that is that you do that is because most of your finer cigars, when I say your finer cigars, your $60 and above that are hand rolled, they're going to be closed because it helps preserve the flavor of it from inside of it.
Well, it's one of those, preserving a cigar is basically a science in itself.
Right.
Humidity plus temperature equals a good cigar. That encasing it like that is basically like wrapping yourself in an emergency blanket.
Well, it is.
It's basically like a cellophane wrap, but cigar.
But but that right there is just another touch that just helps to bring the fact is that you are smoking a quality cigar.
Yeah.
Now I'll say this right off the top: this thing retails for about $13 a stick. That's going to be probably the middle of the road when it comes to buying cigars for most people. Honestly, that's about what I spend on each cigar that I buy. I mean, I have bought some that were cheaper, but for the most part, that's what I'll spend. Anywhere from $13 to $30 is what I'll spend on a cigar.
Stop the presses. You mean to tell me that you can smoke cigars for not $100 a piece?
You can.
You absolutely can. Well, but and at the same time though, you can smoke cigars for not $100 a piece, but you can also smoke cigars for $100 a piece,
Or more.
I know
at one of our local cigar lounges, they have a cigar that is not in the humidor, but if you ask them, they have it in its own special humidor, locked away, and it's like upwards of $500 for that one cigar.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super rare, special, been aged for however long. It's crazy.
That's what it is most of the time. It just has to do with the aging factor of it.
Yeah.
And
It's like whiskey.
well, it is. I mean, because the more ages, the difference the flavors take on, the properties of them and stuff. And and here's the thing, and I'm going to put this out there. A lot of people are going to disagree with it. A lot of people are going to say that I'm wrong. The stigma of smoking cigars since the embargo has always been the finest cigars you'll find are Cuban cigars.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that.
Well, here's the reality of that. That's not true.
Well, I mean, what made the Cuban cigar what the Cuban cigar is, in my opinion, was that meme template. The secret ingredient is crime. It was the it was the stigma.
You're not supposed to have them.
Yeah, I mean, you were doing something you weren't supposed to be doing.
Well, no, not even that in that realm of it. And the fact is that at one time the Cuban cigar was the best that you could buy. Even pre-embargo, it was still considered the best. Well, here's what happened when that embargo happened. The Cuban cigar makers, the artisans themselves, they left Cuba. They had to get out of Cuba if they was going to make a living, so they had to leave. So they went to places like Honduras, Nicaragua, Puerto Rico, Tampa, Florida.
Yeah,
they even went to Tampa. That's another little side note, quickie. Tampa, Florida is considered the cigar capital of the U.S. I mean, the very first cigars began in Key West, Florida.
That actually makes a ton of sense because I have a really close personal friend. He's actually Cubano descendant of some of the embargo immigrants, and he said that all of his family that stayed down there were like cigar people, like just whatever, crazy amounts of just culture that come in from having to get out of that situation.
Well, that's the thing, and there is so much culture in it. But like I said, the masters, the creators, the rollers, the growers, the farmers themselves, they left Cuba. They went to Nicaragua. They went to Honduras. They went to all these different places. Well, they took all that knowledge with them. And why they went to those certain places is because the fact is the soil was so much as the consistency was the same, so that they could go back
Similar
to growing,
climate.
so they could go back to growing the tobacco that they grew. Well, in an unaverted way, they found out that things would change.
Right.
Yeah.
That there were certain elements that would happen that would change the flavor, maybe, or the compound of the leaf, and all these different things.
Well, like growing your tobacco field next to like the orange groves in Florida, I'm sure has an impact.
It puts a citrusy. I've discussed the fact is with the Kentucky Sweets.
Those
the
are
fact
my
is,
favorite ones.
RD likes the Kentucky
They're
Sweets.
good. There's no doubt about it. They're good.
Growed in Kentucky. The thing is with it, the tobacco fields are below a sugar cane.
So all that runoff
processing,
a
processing place that processes a sugar cane. So all that sugar water goes down into the tobacco field, and the tobacco leaves soak it up. So you get a sweet taste to the smoke.
And it
And
is
to-
good.
Well, and here's my question with it at this point, since you're making this point now. Is there a country that is dominant anymore, or does everyone just have their own style now?
I would say that's really the reality of it now. Is the fact is that there's not just what you'd say is the dominant cigar manufacturer grower in the world. It's more the fact is that you get so many different styles, you get so many different variations with it, and that's a big thing, And the fact is that you're getting that, For instance, with the 1502, another category of cigars is what they consider to be boutique.
Yeah.
And that's what this cigar actually is a boutique cigar. Why is it that? Is because the fact is that there's so many flavors that you experience with this because of the fact is of the kind, even though it's all Nicaraguan leaf, there are different Nicaraguan leaves that are used to make this, so it develops a different palate for you, and when you smoke it.
Touching on something you said earlier, and you may be about to address it, but I'm just curious because I've never had to experience one. When you have a foot that isn't like the open foot, which is all I've ever done, do you have to cut it like the cap, or do you just slide it through the foot?
Oh, you're talking about one that's closed?
Yeah.
Most of the time you just slide through it, you just burn through it. I have known people that actually do cut through them like they do on the head, but yeah, I mean I just burn through it.
Straight
Because
through
you're gonna get a flame, a lot of times with it, but I mean, you don't have a problem with that. It's good.
Speaking of cigars, like around the world,
Yep.
I saw like Eastern European cigars now, like Belarusian.
Oh, dude, Hammer
Romanian.
and Sickle, Russian cigars. I love. It has like campfire. If
Yeah,
you're into that kind of
Russians.
thing.
They're starting to make them now, and like,
Well, I mean, there's a lot of countries that are starting to really do a lot of work with tobacco and cigars and stuff, because here's the thing, and I'm going to hammer on some of our members of the men's club, two of our hosts. You've got cigarette smoking, you've got vaping, and you've got cigar smoking. And I classify cigar and pipe being the same thing. I know somebody's going to say, well, what about pipe smoking? Well,
I am a pipe guy more than
I do
anything.
put it in there. If you're going to put a safest on any of them, it's cigar smoking.
Oh, far and away.
Far and away.
Because
there's no doubt about
because
that.
of the reality of what you do smoking cigars, and they're beginning to make a new surge. In the '90s, it was probably one of the heydays for cigar manufacturers, cigar smokers. I mean, you had cigar lounges popping up everywhere. I mean, it was such a big, during that time with the .com and all that, everybody was looking for ways to spend money, and that's what they done. So they bought cigars. Well, it kind of leveled out there, and now it's more of a political thing than it is anything that they're dealing with the FDA and everybody. We're trying to get things straightened out with that.
Man.
But it's beginning to surge again. You're starting to see younger generations, and that's the reason why I do this. It's the reason why the only reason why I put this on the podcast is not just to tell guys that are my age about it. I want legal. Let me say that. Legal younger generations to experience this and to have a chance to try it, because you're going to be surprised when you try it. There's so much more to it than just walking around with a cigar in your hand.
Well,
You go ahead.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. We got started early. We got drawn into that, and I say we got drawn into that. We made a very conscious decision to go into that cigar bar because we thought it would be something we would enjoy.
Oh yeah, I actually had a story on that talking about. Didn't know if we had ever had Olivia. I actually remember for a fact that we both have, because one of our first trips in there, two fresh-faced, first-year college guys. Go into this like crazy second year college guys go into this like crazy like low key cigar lounge. It's like tucked away.
Oh, it's very tucked away.
And
it's got a sign outside that says cigars, and that's it.
And we're like sitting there like kind of nervous, like having. And this dude in a Tommy Bahama shirt and cargo shorts comes down from the members lounge, and he's like, "Y'all boys like cigars?" I was like, "Well, sir, we've never really had any." He's like, "Olivia number 5," and he holds up this big like Olivia cigar. And we're like, "What's that?" He's like, "It's like the best thing you'll ever have." And like the next day we got one, and he happened to be there. He's like, "What you got?" Held him up. He was like, "Good choice." But it always sticks out in my mind, just this literally like 1990s Miami Vice character of a person.
Yeah.
In real life, just comes down out of nowhere.
And that's kind of what we talked about the first time we talked about cigars, is those people that you meet. And he's not wrong. A Miami Vice caricature was this guy.
Literally, that's his life. He would sit and tell us the craziest stories. I'm sure I'll talk about him at some point, but just the life this dude had lived and the money he'd made and lost over just like literally Miami Vice. Like, I can't stress that to you enough. That was this person in real life.
You guys went to college?
For a little while.
Barely, if you can call it going to college.
Whack.
But talking on the safety, you think about just the additives that don't go into a premium cigar, and then the way you smoke it, of getting it into the membranes in your mouth. It's safer for you than dipping because of all the preservatives that go into your mainstream dip. And then talking about safe, drinking your favorite cola beverage product is not safe for you.
Well, I mean, if you want to do relative safety, there's not really a whole lot in this world anymore that is just purely safe.
Yeah.
You can even have problems with water nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
staying in the context of this, you know, the smoking habits.
Yeah.
You know that's the point I was making about it. Let's go ahead and get this thing
Yeah, a lot
lit
of
and going. I went ahead and cut the end off of it while they were talking. Very first impression. Like I said, this is the first one I've had of the Sapphire. Very first impression. I love the leaf. I love the color. It's going to be a medium to full body strength cigar with a dark wrapper, the Maduro style. Like I said, partially closed foot. Just smelling of it before I even light it. The cold draw, really a whole lot of cocoa, like a chocolate feel to it.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
That's amazing. And what y'all saw me do there, I call it as a cold draw.
Yeah.
A lot of people that smoke cigars, especially if you're smoking for a while, you want to be able to have it all, be able to experience it from start to finish. And that's one of the ways that you do it. You will cut the end of it off. You do a cold draw with it. And normally when you do that, you'll taste probably the strongest flavor of it that you're going to get from it, because it's going to be so pronounced there. Just the smelling of it. And let me say this too real quick, and I think I discussed this already in a video that may be coming out later on cigar etiquette. Don't go into a smoke shop, into a cigar lounge, go into their humidor, pick up their cigars and put it to your nose. Don't do that.
Buy it first.
Buy it first before you do it. And then here's the other thing.
Take it out of the wrapper first.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I see guys do this all the time. They go in there and they pick up a cigar in the humidor and it's got the cellophane on it. And they'll go,
I'm that guy.
and they'll smell it. And I'm sitting there thinking, you're smelling cellophane,
No,
dude.
that's
That's
all
all
you
you're
got.
getting. You're not getting but don't do that, because somebody else is going to come in there and pick it up, probably, try to buy it, and it's going to have your boogers on it. So,
One thing they will do for you, and they've done it for both of us, is if you're interested in one that's cellophane, they'll usually open the tip, which gets your nose a pretty safe distance away, and let you
they
kind of
make you
smell
stay
through
away
the
from
tip,
it. Yeah.
where you can kind of get an idea. I mean, in talking about how they go kind of hand in hand with whiskey, you'll find you do the same thing with a premium whiskey. Once you've got experience drinking a whiskey, you'll pour it into a whiskey glass or a Glencairn, and you'll get a nose off of it as you're taking that first little. You won't even take a sip; you'll get it on your tongue and just kind of let it express.
That's when you took me to my first one, and they had the scotch on the rocks, where he actually mixed it with the scotch. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Tasted amazing.
If you can find a good lounge, go. If you're not a cigar guy, but you're like a beverage guy,
Man, that smells good.
they will give you the right guidance on just experience. It's all about an experience. It's great. That actually smells wonderful just sitting over here.
Y'all just keep talking.
No, that does have a very, I'm the furthest away, and I can tell you that's got an amazing smell. Very, very sweet smell from here.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of like Grandpa's old sitting out on the patio
you got?
cigar, but
You really enjoying that, ain't you?
Another thing, don't try to talk right after you try to exhale. I'll be buying more of these. Okay, on the initial burn, initial light, it lit good. Not a problem. It already looks like it's tracking consistently. It's going to have a grayish ash to it, which means it's burning very consistently. Chocolate, the cocoa, I taste that. I taste there's a cedar hint to it, even a little bit of a, and I think y'all are probably smelling it. That's what y'all. It's even more of a leathery.
yeah, it's got that Grandpa leather couch.
Yeah.
It's very, it's oily. When I say oily, I just mean it's the smoke of it's pretty thick. When I held it out of my nose, I get the pepper. There's some pepper in it.
Sticks to your palate, basically, right?
Yeah,
Kind of coats your tongue.
You're getting a lot of different things, and it being the first, because here's the thing, and most people knows about lighting. You take a cigar into thirds, first third, second third, then the last third. Usually your first third is the weakest that you're going to have because of the simple fact that it's just where it's at. Your second third is usually where it's going to be the most bold, most pungent the flavor. But I'm really getting a lot of things right off the start with this, and then of course the last one is of course kind of the burnout.
It's almost too much.
The heat.
Well, no, it's not really. It's too much. It just starts. It reverses that. It starts
Really?
slowing down.
Well,
more.
you've got more heat closer to
Yeah.
your face.
you're getting more of the heat than you are the smoke.
Well, it's right the opposite, for anyone who doesn't know about, again, the whiskey. If you put whiskey on rocks, the cold actually takes some of the flavor away.
It takes a lot of it. And that's the thing. I mean, since we're already on the topic, if you're going to drink a whiskey with your cigar, don't put it on the rocks. If you need it chilled, put it on whiskey stones.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even do that if you can do it preferably. You want it about room temperature, about 70 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
2 drops of water. It'll open up the flavor, and you're good to go.
And another thing, and I've seen this done, don't take your cigar and dip it in your whiskey, then light it. I see people do this all the time. I've seen it in movies. And what's worse, and if you're just dead set you're going to do it, don't cut the cap. As long as the cap's closed, it's still a sealed cigar.
Yeah.
You can actually stick it down in there, but I've seen people take and submerge it in their drink and with the cap off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what you've done? You have soaked that cigar.
Well, you've made a big straw.
And so, you have to sit there, you have to leave it, there for, a week for it to dry back out before you can smoke it. But, people talk about that, dipping it in there that changes the flavor. I don't think it does. I don't see how it can. But, a lot of people do that.
On that note about not ruining your cigar, that's a good point. But on the other token, there's another wonderful channel on YouTube. I reference other channels a lot because I watch a lot of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, despite the guidelines, the best cigar, the best whiskey, the best cola that you can drink is the one you like, how you like it.
Yep.
So,
I mean, personally, I am 100% Scotch.
Reynolds is a on rocks guy. He loves it on rocks.
See,
Scotch.
Scotch, yeah.
Whiskey, straight, always.
now you were mentioning a Scotch earlier. Did you take him and let him try the Glenlivet 18, or
What did I put you on? I can't remember. I know I had that really good.
It was had a goldish tint to it, just barely, but it was about as clear as that water right there, and it was.
I think it was Glenlivet. I don't think it was 18. I think it was 12. I think they were out of 18.
It was smooth.
May have been. Either way,
I'm a gin guy, by the way.
That's a whole nother podcast conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, right now we're just filling time so he can burn through that a little bit more and make another decision on it.
Okay. I said I would
what's the
reveal
secret?
ingredient.
I'm interested in this secret.
If you have to retrohale. When I say retrohale, it means you pull it in your mouth, you chew on it, and you push it back through your nose.
Mm-hmm.
By doing that, you actually release other sensors in your body that let your taste sensors.
Yeah, your brain is, all of it works together, yeah.
And that's where I said I was getting the pepper from. Well, that's the reason why I wanted to smoke it a little further to see if it would maybe react that way. Blueberries.
Really? Pepper and blueberries.
The pepper kind of subsides a little bit. You start getting a berry, like a sweetness that comes through it. And that, and honestly, I haven't, ever talking to Mr. Sanchez about this, but I think that's the reason why it's sapphire.
The blue.
No.
It's because of that in there, that it does have a hint of a blueberry to it.
I wonder where that would come from, because obviously there's not blueberries in it, and there's definitely not blueberry
I don't,
flavoring.
Well, the thing is, it could be a number of things that actually could have triggered that. There's actually no chocolate in here, there's no leather in here, but it's just the way that your mind affiliates the smells
and the taste that you're getting.
Well, and I keep referencing whiskey, but I mean, they go hand in hand, and it's what I know, and it's the same thing. If you have a barrel that's a certain kind of oak grown in a certain place, it'll release honey, or it'll release, like a woody, you'll actually get the oak. Or I've seen where they'll actually take aged whiskey barrels and then store beer in it, and it gives like a whiskey flavor to the beer, and it's just the exposure to different things.
Budweiser, Copper Road did that. That was
those
Jim
were
Beam
actually pretty
barrels.
good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So I'm assuming it's the same thing, just whatever that was exposed to in the field or however they age it. They may age those in a environment that's.
Well, all their tobacco was aged anyway, so yeah. I mean, it could have been, where blueberries were at one time.
Yeah.
So when are we going to start growing our own tobacco?
Hey man, that's a conversation for later.
I was about to say, I want to grow a tobacco plant and just every day fresh steak dinners next to it.
See if it picks up
See if it picks up the cow.
So I will, in conclusion of the cigar, I like it. Like I said, one of our viewers, one of our longtime friends, I'll go ahead and mention his name, Mr. Aaron Day. He was one that let me have this.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he gave him He gave him the sapphire, and we've actually all three got one too. It's just not a sapphire.
Oh no, I smoked those. Those are gone.
Well.
Sounds about right.
That's what you get for leaving them at the house.
You think.
But, you know, anyway.
He's joking, right?
But, you know, Mr. Day, I appreciate this. I really do.
No kidding.
I enjoy this. You made a believer out of me with it. You said that if I smoked it, I'd love it, and I have, and I will definitely be buying more of them. So more than likely, you'll be getting repaid back yours before it's over with. So, but I do appreciate it.
I'm calling you out, by the way, because I know you're watching. Thank you for this. Get your 5 favorite ready, because we're gonna have you on, and we're gonna test your taste buds.
Yep.
5 favorite, whatever you want, any price range, pick a variety. It's your call, but I want your 5 favorites when we have you on.
I couldn't do my 5 favorites.
Why?
Because one of them I've only had one time. And I don't know that I'll ever have again.
Yeah,
that thing was like $70.
Oh, oh yeah.
I've had
Yeah, you may get another.
3-4 baby tops because
No.
I'm new to the cigar thanks to you guys. So
No.
I mean, I was like Kentucky Sweets #1.
That's it. Stop
Hands
right
down.
there.
You know what?
There's 5 versions.
Screw
of
the rest of
Kentucky
the
Sweets.
4. We're
You know,
going one.
and what's bad is, you know, there's somebody watching this right now going, Kentucky Sweets. I mow my grass with Kentucky Sweets.
Yeah.
And he's over here like number 2, synthetic grape gas station. But there and again, it's what you like and how you like to smoke it. So I mean, hey,
No.
no.
Y'all harped on me the first episode on that, and gas station grape is a close third.
It will always hold a special place in your heart.
In
I
my
gotta
mouth.
get you smoking good cigars.
Apparently, you smoked the one I was supposed to
They
have.
actually make premium synthetic grape cigars. I think isn't it acid that makes those flavored that are really nice?
I don't know.
Acid does actually make some pretty good cigars. Acid gets a bad name, especially in the I guess what you'd call the
cigar snob.
upper echelon of cigar smokers. They get a bad name, but I'm gonna tell you, they make a good stick. They really do. I've
Especially
had
those
two.
shorties.
I've had 2 or 3 of them, and you know, and if you're into a flavored smoke like a honey or a grape or something like that,
No.
they're great. I mean, they're great. They're more of, like I said, a boutique smoke, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they are. All right, my second thing. I think I'm gonna name this Pop's Picks.
Pops Pigs, I like it.
I'm with it. I think I'm gonna go with something like that. Now, this is something here that I bought.
Real quick, just before we get into this, just for future purposes, don't flip that label around.
Well, I didn't worry. You can't.
Okay.
Yeah. My name's on there, so no, I didn't do that.
No.
Name,
Matter
address.
of fact, my thumb's over it. But anyway, now I've watched YouTube before. But anyway,
We're gonna start sharpieing everything.
I am a
Redacted.
I'm a cigar enthusiast, but I'm also a sunglass nut.
Oh,
I love sunglasses. I use them on a regular basis. You see me with eyeglasses on. When I drive, I take them off, and I prefer to be blind and with sunglasses on than being able to see without them.
Hey, we about to get that fixed up.
Would you
but-
say you wear your sunglasses at night?
I have wore sunglasses at night. Thank you very much.
My dog just likes to eat mine. I don't know.
But well, you're in luck.
This is
This
for
company
you.
that I have researched and looked at. I've been looking at it for several months, and I've been wanting some. And it's Shady Rays. I'm not paid to do this. Let me get that out there. I ain't paid
No.
by 1502. I'm not paid by Shady Rays. Don't get me wrong. Anybody
Yeah.
from Shady Rays out there listening, send me a check. I'll be glad to do this every week.
Mm-hmm.
But with all that being said,
Don't even send me a check. Just send me a pair of sunglasses.
Reach
Shady
out.
Rays. Shady Rays is a company that they haven't been around for a long time, but they're really starting to make a name for themselves. Their service and their dependability is what makes them so good. These glasses, they have a lifetime warranty on them. Here's the thing. Not only do they have a lifetime warranty on if they get broken or if you break them, they have a lifetime warranty if you lose them.
Oh wow.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, that's a pretty intense warranty.
Men's sunglasses, best of my ability, without going back and looking at it, range from $48 to about $78. It was some of the most expensive ones that I saw.
That's not bad at all.
In that area. They run promotional all the time. Like in the case with these that I got, there's 3 pairs in here, and I bought 2 pairs at the price of 1.
Yeah.
And then I actually picked up another pair. I didn't buy them from Shady Rays. It was just a guy that had the pair of them, and he's like, I don't need 2 pairs, so you want to buy them? And I bought them for $25. So I've got, around $50, $60 and 3 pairs of sunglasses. that are guaranteed for life.
And they're like boutique. They're not like Walmart.
No,
sunglasses.
no.
These are supposed to be really good quality sunglasses. That's one of the reasons I'm so excited to look at these is because, I helped him get into cigar smoking. He really got me into watches and sunglasses. And I've got my Oakleys that I've got about $300 in at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my Ray-Ban Wayfarers, the original Wayfarers, which were about 100, 110. And those pretty salty, especially when I was buying them because I was so young when I bought them.
Right.
So yeah, I love those. I woke up one day, he always had Costas and Ray-Bans. What was the other one? Maui Jims.
Maui Jim. I love my Maui Jims.
Yeah. And I was wearing his Maui Jims one day, and then I had my little $3 sunglasses over there in the side, and I was like, I've got to get something different because I feel like I'm looking through a haze with cheap
I'm glad
sunglasses.
you mentioned that. That was the only reason I joined the military was for the free Oakley sunglasses.
Because every pair of sunglasses I own are issued from an undisclosed source, and they're all like high dollar, polarized, safety. Like they're very nice sunglasses that I've not paid $1 for.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, the other reason why I really liked this company, and I guess over the years I've gotten to where I do a lot more research on, especially on these online companies, to see exactly what they're about, their mission statement, all that stuff like that. One of the things that Shady Rays does is for every pair of sunglasses sold, they donate 10 meals to Feeding America.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is an awesome.
So I mean, they spent
right there.
they spent millions, or sent millions of meals to Feeding America just by selling their sunglasses.
Nice.
So they're very innovative. They've got websites, they've got Instagram, they've got Twitter, Facebook, and they do all these things, and it's fun to follow. The newsletter, especially today, we're active, we're outdoors people. We like to do things like that. And that's the reason why I kind of got on to looking at their stuff. Is I was actually looking at some more other outdoor stuff, and the first time I saw it, and it popped up there. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up.
Yeah,
take a look at it.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited.
I said before we started I wouldn't have a lot to say on sunglasses, but I mean, you can attest. If you catch me outside, I'm probably in a pair of sunglasses.
That's right. Well, the first thing that stands out there is it's a little portrait of. I'm assuming it's made, but I ain't gonna assume. It's just a guy standing on a cliff. On cliff on the back. It's got a bunch of their free shots that they do, and you can go on Twitter, Facebook, all that. You can see that. But it says that the adventure awaits. Says, welcome to the team. 6 years ago, we embarked on a journey to solve the problem with sunglasses, the cost, and always losing or breaking them. Now we've got you covered too. So and it's two guys that started this. It started on the Kickstarter kind of thing, and they got going with that. But I've got three there, and I will say this also. I go from style to style. Right now, I'm a Wayfarer guy. I love Wayfarers. Excuse me for a second.
They're like the aviator looking kind of style.
Oh,
Show off.
the aviator looking style is aviators.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wayfarers actually look more like his
Yeah,
eyeglasses.
like my eyeglasses.
Oh, it's like the tortoiseshell kind
Right.
of. Okay.
Yeah.
And so these are three different Wayfarer, different styles of Wayfarer, but they're still Wayfarer. And also the fact is that I'm putting a pair in my truck. I'm putting a pair in my vehicle, my car, and then I'll have a third pair that I will probably just keep, just to go when we're hiking, canoeing,
Keep it on the
kayaking.
nightstand, ready to go.
Kind of the more of the beat up pair.
Yeah, but actually, I'm hoping that they don't get beat up because I'll show you the difference between it here in a minute. But the first pair we're going to come to, this is what they call the original timber, and we can take a picture of this afterwards.
Yeah,
Show
absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
Another thing, all of them are polarized.
Okay, that's
they're all
awesome.
polarized lenses.
We'll do a cut in
just,
here.
It's the timber look.
Oh, wow, these are cool.
Oh, so those are like. Now is that synthetic cut like timber or is
Yeah,
that wood?
no, it's a plastic that they've painted and to make it look like.
I wouldn't be able to tell the difference if you hadn't told me. I mean, that looks nice.
Yeah, because I actually have a pair of wood ones,
wow.
actual wood
Yeah.
ones, and you can't really tell the difference between them.
That looks nice. Real clean.
Let's see what this- Ooh, those are really light. Like really light.
Yeah, you've never had a pair of Wayfarers, have you?
Mm-mm.
Man, I love my Wayfarers. They're the old jazz style sunglass, and it's.
Well, I can show you what
Well,
I
when
wear
you talk
while
about
on the
men-
topic.
I wear sports sunglasses like this.
When you talk about men's sunglasses and things like that, a Wayfarer is one that
Man.
really fits a whole lot of face shapes. You know,
Right.
and that's the thing. You know, a lot of people don't realize this, or a lot of men don't realize this. You know, you need to. You know, you see these women in these sunglasses places, and they're trying on sunglasses after sunglasses. I don't like this. I don't like that. Well, it's because they're trying to match one to their face. They're trying to get one that is close to what their size and everything. So that's why they do it.
No.
Oh, I mean, I knew that from wearing prescription glasses because I have bad eyes. And traditionally, I've had to wear like round lenses because they went to like the really hard angle square lenses. Like that's what the military uses now. They look awful because I've got a round face. So
Okay, this is the
I
next
like
pair,
those already.
which like I said, I like the wood grain, so
Yeah.
I had the black timber, so I decided I'd get the brown timber, which this has the blue lens in it, where that just had the gray lens in it.
that's got like an amber look to it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, no,
cool.
that's very
red
nice.
chestnut.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, it even like looks the way it.
Oh, I like those. What is that? The single. What is it called? Where it's got the mirroring.
It's just they just called that the blue lens. What they
Yeah.
called that?
What you're talking about with the mirroring is literally just a mirrored lens.
Just a mirrored lens. I didn't know if it was like because there's like different kinds of mirroring.
Yeah, I mean technically it's a one-way mirror.
But that's the kind of mirroring that it's like full mirror. You know, you've got some that's got the shiny, but you
Oh,
can still
man.
kind of see through.
Okay, so these are on the outside a blue lens,
Right.
but I don't even know if you've got to look through them yet.
It's amber.
They're amber.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got like a ambery.
Personally, I much prefer an amber or a blue tint when I'm looking through to a gray.
Yeah.
These are amazing. The clarity on these, even, I'm not wearing my regular eyeglasses right now, so I'm blind. But they look incredible.
Mhm.
And I'm going to have to get some of these.
Well,
Yeah,
one thing I'll
I-
say
I
too,
hate
because
it
I wear
more.
contact lenses,
Mhm.
is those are, what was it, optically true. There's no variance in the actual cut of the lens. So if you'll notice, if you wear like contacts or you have some sort of corrective,
Give me a sticker.
it can, depending on if it's a cheaper pair of sunglasses or glasses in general, distort your vision. Those don't do that.
Also, the bags, the case is free. They don't charge you nothing
Yeah.
for that. They actually give you an option. You can actually buy a harder case if you want one. But
Yeah.
also, we also noticed too in here they give us a decal.
Truck.
Now these are going to be more of my knock around. The ones that I wear if we're out hiking, camping, whatever we're doing.
See, now,
They're
just from what I already see, these are the classic black Wayfarers,
They're
correct?
just a solid black, but I went ahead and did something different with them, and it gave me the
I
option
know
to
what
do
you're talking
that.
about now.
Is the fact is that I did the orange.
the orange.
The orange lens on there. And here's the thing: what I want to show you, these are different.
Oh, they're very flexible.
Oh,
They're almost rubberized.
That's awesome.
And so that makes them a little bit better as far as being able to get out there and knock around.
yeah,
with
take a
them.
draw.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say they're shatterproof,
No, yeah,
but they are very, very near it. I mean, that is a huge thing when it comes to, especially like Wayfarer style sunglasses, because you'll see the hard plastic used. One good knock and you'll
Oh, wow.
shatter them. They'll
Oh,
go
yeah, most
everywhere.
This one has the blue.
yeah, that's going. The orange does have the blue.
Yeah.
Now let me ask, you may
That's
not
the
know,
polarization.
do they make a safety lens
Is
for
it?
their glasses?
Yes,
You know?
they do. Actually, they make the company actually makes Blu-ray, the Blu-ray glasses, the blue blockers.
Yeah.
They make those. They also you can send your prescription if you wear eyeglasses like me and Jordan does. You can send
I
your
like it.
prescriptions, and they'll actually make you
These are
a
my
pair of
They head a
glasses
little different
for
but they're still cool. I like
for
the
them,
lens.
and it's
We need to talk about that.
But and I was just actually looking at my day because it is time for me to get a new set of glasses, and they're not that much more expensive than what our eye doctor is now.
No.
But they give you the they'll do the single lens,
awesome.
they'll do the bifocal lens, they'll do the photochromatic where it's color changing. So
Mhm.
when you go in and out of the places that do that.
Oh, like a
Wait,
transition
put
lens.
those back on real quick.
Yeah.
I just noticed something. Look that way.
Yeah.
His eyes give off the
blue, yeah.
blue
Yeah.
reflection.
But you know that, but
That's
you know
pretty cool.
that one of the guys at work, he actually has ordered the blue blockers, the Blu-ray blockers, because we're around.
Well, the blue light blockers.
yeah, since we're around computers all day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so he does that. But I'm gonna say, like I said, I haven't had a chance to really test them. I haven't had a chance to really wear them out because I just got them today. But I will be doing that, and I'll give you an update on them later. But you know, first impressions, I can't be upset with them. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't find a flaw in them so far.
For the price,
Yeah, I mean, like I
for
said,
what they are,
you know, I would give out their code, but if you decide to buy some, drop a comment in the bottom. I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy them, and I'll give you the code that actually gets you 2 pairs for 1.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, there will definitely be more unboxed if they do safety lenses, because in my line of work, I do a lot of like gun stuff, I do a lot of shooting, testing, stuff like that, and I hate wearing safety glasses, especially like on the range, because the light always cuts through. They're clear. It's awful. So if they've got safety sun lenses like mine that I wear all
Yeah.
the time, I'll definitely get a pair because I have to have safety
I think
lenses.
I'll just leave these on for this podcast. That way, if I decide to sleep for a little while, y'all won't know no different. I'll just sit over here.
WC Handy.
But I mean the Shady Rays, definite buy. I'm probably gonna get out of here and go check and see just what it would cost for me to get them in a prescription.
I'm definitely gonna look at the styles.
So, in conclusion, real quickly, and we're gonna move on. My unboxing went a little bit longer than I thought it would.
Hey man, no,
but
don't worry about it real quick. I mean, we've got time.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to say is this: like I said, Pop's picks. These are 2 picks. If you're looking for a good mid-range premium cigar, hand rolled, a Puro in its very building, the 1502 Sapphire is good. I can go ahead and say, I've tried the Emerald, I've tried the Black Gold. If you get out there and you find those, try those too. I can't think. I think the Emerald is more of a Connecticut. When I say Connecticut, lighter, like y'all seen me smoke on here before. The lighter leaf, a little bit more on the medium to lower strength, where this is a little bit higher strength as far as the smoke. But it's not something a beginner couldn't do. That's the good thing about it. It's for us that have smoked for a while, it's a good flavor. It's a good taste. It's a very enjoyable. We've been going now for about 50 minutes. And so this thing is, you're gonna get about if you draw like a normal draw.
Well, let's run it this way. You probably lit at about 15 minutes, so you've probably had about 30 minutes off of it so far.
And you're gonna get
barely ashed it once.
Well, I mean, I'm fixing to hit the second third.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to hit right here. So you're looking at probably about 30 minutes to a third. So you're looking about an hour and a half smoke if you really want to take your time with it.
Yeah.
Most people when their smoking pace is about a puff a minute. That's how they do it. So I mean, it's really good, and I enjoy it. So,
And you said the Emerald was like a Connecticut. The Black Gold, is that like a more bold?
the Black Gold is actually a mix,
Okay.
a hybrid. It's got Connecticut striping in it with a Maduro base.
Okay.
So you're gonna get a little bit of both with it. But I really enjoy it. I mean,
Yeah.
502 is a good company. They're good. It's a good brand.
Well, slow down. 1502.
I mean, 1502. I said
1502.
502, didn't I?
Yeah, you said 502.
1502 is I guess because I can only see the 502 right there.
Yeah.
The 1502 is a very good brand.
Yeah.
They've done a good job with it. Mr. Sanchez is very, very well on his way. Which he is on his way already with his ability in cigar manufacturing. But it's a good company to get behind. And like I said, $13 a stick.
That's what I was about to say, man. That's the big thing. You talking.
The quality that you get for $13 is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk bang for your buck. Shady Rays, 1502s, there it is.
Which I mean,
it's-
you've found, I think, the Nicaraguans are a lot like that because just about everything you smoke seems lately to be Nicaraguan.
It has
for that reason.
It has been, and I really enjoy the tobacco that the Nicaraguans were putting out.
no.
So I'll turn it over to RD.
All right,
what you
you
got
said Pop's Picks.
Yeah.
That's a T-shirt idea. Stephanie, I hope you're watching. Well, I wish I had a show and tell that was like that cool. Set the room.
Paper, and he's gonna tell.
Yeah, there it is. We've shown, we've told.
This is made from wood. Everybody likes camping. I mean, well,
Everybody in this room likes
everybody
it.
I'm about to say,
camping.
not
everybody in
every-
this room likes camping.
Yeah,
I personally
my
love-
wife would deeply disagree with you.
Yeah,
Everybody likes camping.
Everybody in this room likes camping,
Definitely.
and as a camper, I mean, you're gonna.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with it, what you're about to get into, since we already have a little bit of a knowledge beforehand. We all like camping. We all like backpacking. We all like hiking. This is about to be a little bit of all of it.
Oh yeah. Not forced hiking, taking a leisure stroll hiking,
Yeah.
but
As a camper, always bring 44 caliber bear spray.
my Washington ex-military guys would get that joke. I'm gonna go over the packing list. I mean, you gotta know what you're gonna be doing when you're going camping.
This does
You
not
gotta-
apply to you if you're a primitive camper, by the way.
No, it does not.
You walk
I'm
in there
talking
and you
about
walk back out. We're talking about normal people.
Your
Yeah.
your superstore. This is. I'm doing this as a family type camp trip. I'm going to walk into the superstore. I'm going to buy stuff off my own personal list, and this is my personal packing list.
No.
And I'm going to start it off with something like that everybody needs, and it's water. You got to have water to survive.
Clean
Water. And I'm going to get into what TJ just said, clean water. Don't be like me. If you remember the first or second episode, we talked about me getting sick from drinking in the stream. There's plenty of water purification sources out there. And my favorite one happens to be one that comes in like a straw.
Yeah, but say the carbon straws are the best.
Live straw.
I couldn't remember the exact name of it.
It's a Live Straw.
There's other brands, but the name brand is Live Straw.
Yeah.
And let's talk about this right now. You can go out and you can buy the Live Straw, and that's going to cost you. I think the cheapest one I've seen is like $12. Yeah, $12. You can also, on the other hand, instead of finding water, bring a water source.
Yeah.
What plastic bottles? You see us drink them all the time. Mm-hmm. They're good. They don't pack great.
No.
If
canteens.
You really canteens.
Mm-hmm.
Canteens are the way to go.
Canteens. If you're planning on staying out a little bit longer, your water hydration systems, like your name brand would be Camelback.
Yeah, Camelback. Walmart has one on the cheap.
Yeah, Ozark Trails.
Yeah.
Well, if you can, I would recommend getting one of the metal canteens, because if you're ever fielded for a long time, like you're going out on like a 2-week, 3-week hike, and you're wanting to, kind of keep it light, if you'll bring a metal canteen and some form of camp stove or just some way to heat, you can actually boil that water.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll be able to purify your water source near you.
Yeah, that's another purification form than the Live Straw.
Yeah. And it depends on how long you're going to actually be out camping. Me personally, when I go on like a hike or something, I always got a canteen on me.
No. As with me, I'm more apt to bring my Camelback.
Yeah.
Because I have a little sporter Camelback that I love to take. Mm-hmm. It's right here. I have it here. I just throw it in my mouth and we keep walking.
Well, the thing that's awesome with a Camelback, and I will plug this because I'm a big believer, they actually sell now I know Camelback brand does. I don't know about others. They actually make it's about this long. It looks almost like an adapter for like an air hose, like an air compressor. Mm-hmm. But what it is, it's actually one of those filters like a Live Straw. So you can actually attach it to your hose, and you can just fill your Camelback up out of the stream and just keep going.
I have never once seen that, but I'm going to be looking for one of those.
Yeah, they've got them.
Cool. It's
awesome. Yeah, and they also make. I was actually messaging you yesterday or the day before. If you are, for whatever reason, think you may be exposed to some like biological issues, like with a disease or anything that could be around, they actually make CBurn rated bladders that are like radiation proof. They're expensive. They're like $300 bladders, but
well, you start looking at that level of protection, everything's expensive. Period. So
number one, you got dealing with this and prefacing everything that you're doing here. If you're going on a day hike, if you're planning on going on a day hike, you can get by with a couple bottles of water.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you're going for a couple of days, I'd say maybe 2 canteens. If you're going for a hike like they're beginning to talk about it, then you start getting into Camelback, start getting into things like that. Camping and hiking and backpacking is just like golf and tennis and fishing.
You can put as much into it as you want to.
You can make this as expensive as you want it to be.
Well, I know for hot weather at least, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know for like hot weather and just long distance, even like single day, the military standard is like 3 liters, but then that's a good metric. If you're in a hot environment, you got to keep hydrated. 3 liters will pretty much get you through whatever you're doing for like a day.
We always kept 2-quart canteens on us and a Camelback.
Yeah,
we doing like.
And those Camelbacks come standard with a 3-liter bladder.
But at the same time, you're not dragging a 3-year-old, stopping every couple of minutes and checking out every rock.
True.
And that's the thing. If you are going with your family, you can get by with those. Me
Army
and Dad love them. They're cargo shorts. You can grab them at any little clothing store. Mm-hmm. But those 2 big side pockets, you can carry 4 bottles of water.
Yeah.
You got a family of 4, that's all you need.
Well, me and the other son, and we did the Rubicon Trail when we was out in California at Lake Tahoe, and it was hot that day, and we got by with they had him and his girlfriend had 2 of the
Hydro Flask
30 ounce, maybe 32 ounce Hydro Flask, and me and your mama had I think we had 3 bottles of water between us, just the regular bottles of water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we made it fine with that because we wasn't trying to make a breakneck pace. We were taking our time. We were seeing the scenery and stuff like that. So it all depends on everything that he's talking about and everything that we're talking about. It is extremely situational.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why you'll hear me say it a lot during this segment. It depends.
Right. Well, I mean, you can carry a house if you want to. That's you got to balance weight and just sheer amount of stuff you got to tote versus what you have at your disposal. I mean, if you bring a house, you've got a house's worth of stuff with you.
I don't want anybody going like a 3-day hike and only packing for a 2-hour stroll.
Exactly.
What RD said.
Yeah, no,
it's not what this is. But when I was doing the Cascade Mountains and stuff out in Washington, like Mount Rainier and stuff, I got to the point where, I mean, we misjudged horribly because there's snow is past like 8,000 feet. There's going to be tons of snow on the ground. It may be hot as all get out of the base. We ran out of water, so we're having to put snow and ice in our canteens and
letting
it melt so we can have something to drink, which that was safe.
Yeah. But snow in itself is purified.
Yes.
Anything that is evaporated and then dropped back to the ground, catching rainwater, normally pretty pure, depending on what you're catching it in, how you're catching it, all that good junk. The water cycle is 9 times out of 10 almost 100% pure.
Yeah.
So
and that's another thing to note too, as we talked about boiling. Generally speaking, freezing, like full ice block frozen, is going to purify about as well as boiling. Not as well, but close.
Yeah.
But also remember, and he said it right, that they put it in the your canteens and let it melt. If you're on a hike and you're in a snowy environment, don't eat the snow.
No,
do not eat the snow.
Because that's going to drop your body temperature, and it's going to cause it can bring hypothermia that much faster. So never eat snow. Always melt it down. Always turn it back into the liquid so that it warms back up, so that you're actually warming your body too as you're drinking it.
Fun fact: this is from the medical side of things. People don't realize this. 95.6 is all your body. 3 degrees on average is all your body temp has to drop for you to start the stages of hypothermia. And once you start, it compounds. 3 degrees. And eating snow will definitely do it.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of eating, that brings me to my next one. Food. What to pack? Well,
cheese and crackers.
You want something with protein. Something that's going to keep you going. Cliff Bars. I used to love Cliff Bars when I was hiking.
Cliff Bars are
great. There's a certain kind of flavor of Cliff Bars. It haunts me still to this day. Mocha. But
I know that story.
But
Cliff Bars, they've got the little pouches now, the P3s, and that's 3 sources of protein.
Oh, yeah, nuts, meat, and then usually like some kind of
cheese.
Actually.
Oh yeah, because I mean when we go especially on our kayaking trips, things like we're just going to be gone for maybe 6 hours or so. We'll want to bring a lunch or a snack or two with us. I'm going to tell you the best thing I have found, that especially for us, just a tote that's real simple, it's light, is Lunchables.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Lunchables are great.
Of course, we get the smaller ones that don't have the drink in it and all that stuff. But now, I mean, you look at it, you're getting your proteins, you're getting a little bit of fat with it, you're getting sugar with it. 'Cause most of the time, it has some kind of a candy bar or cookie or something, so you're getting a little bit of a sugar kick with it.
Normally, getting a little carbohydrate.
Yeah, you're getting carbs with it. So I mean, it's something that that's just an ideal. Because a lot of times when we think, of course, we have done it. Totally doesn't. We've done the Harbor House. We've done the MREs and all that kind of stuff. Have you ever done one?
Yeah.
Just a couple times.
Are you familiar with those?
Bathroom mate. But
well, I mean, and that's the other thing. If you're just looking for a quick little pick-me-up snack, Goos. If you've never seen those, there's just a little pouch about this big.
Oh man,
they're amazing.
Goos have saved me many times when them obstacle runs.
Oh my gosh, they're amazing.
Well, if you're looking for bang for your buck in terms of weight savings to just long-term caloric intake, like good for you, find something with a lot of fat in it. Fat is really, really good for you. I know you hear fat and you think, oh, I'm fat. No, fats that you can eat, like your cheeses, they're going to do you very, very
your
well.
Salamis, your things like that. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a lot of fat from those.
Believe me when I tell you, it took me multiple trips on different ranges of the Cascade before, and I still don't have it nailed down. It took me like getting my rear end tore up on all these mountain excursions that we done. And I'm like, all right, well, this ain't gonna work in this situation anymore. Scratch that. We went to Cold Chuck Lake up in Leavenworth, Washington. Beautiful Bavarian-style village in Washington. But they had this lake. It's an alpine lake.
No.
And me and my buddy, we were like, hey, man, let's go visit this lake. Don't know how far it is to get up there. I was like, what do you want to bring? You just bring your assault pack or your backpack, one MRE, and we'll carry 2 bottles of water. Can't be that far. 12 miles. When I tell you, we got to there and we were rationing out the rest of our MREs because we were just so shaky and we were so out of it.
Well, and that's the other thing I was about to say, especially just for these day trips, a wonderful alternative to the Lunchables, the Goos, all that is one of our favorite snacks, actually. Cheese and summer sausage with a little bit of cracker with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you're
super light.
You're taking a Lunchable.
Well, I mean, literally in World War II, that was one of the #1 menus. You got a tin of crackers, it's about this big, it's like 6-7 crackers. You had a tin of potted meat, which is, I mean, it's essentially summer sausage.
No, not really. Potted meat's completely different.
Well, the World War II potted...
It's like Vienna sausage.
Well, the World War II potted meat is kind of in between. It was literally a blend of compressed meat, like summer sausage, beef, whatever they could get.
Yeah.
And then cheese. You usually either got a block of cheese and like a shrink wrap, or you got cheese spread.
No.
And the way
cheese spread, man.
Another thing I want to talk about with the food is preparing the food. Like if you're going to have something you have to cook, you're going to need a fire.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Having something you're going to cook. This is going to be for a longer trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking
overnight. You're talking about an overnight trip.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and with the fire, I'm guessing you're about to start with the fire starters.
That's right. My personal favorite, a buddy of mine in the Army introduced it to me. I started carrying them to the field from then on out. A jet boil. And for those that don't know what a jet boil is, it's got like what I guess you'd say miniature propane tank at the bottom.
Yeah, it's very much like your average blowtorch.
Bunsen burner, almost, sort of.
Yeah.
Well, it's basically a camp stove with a burner already attached to it. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
We used to put like ramen noodles in there, crack eggs on there, and they cook it just like that.
But if you're looking more toward starting your own fires, don't watch. Watch these survival shows. Don't take everything they say to heart. We live in a modern society where I can go to any gas station, I can buy a 4-pack of Bic lighters for $3.
Well, and they even tell you that the good ones are like, this is me showing you how you can make fire with sticks if you have to.
Yeah.
Well, all those shows it's their survival shows, so they're taking worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Best case scenario is I've got 2 big lighters and 15 waterproof matches in my backpack.
Oh yeah.
And a big old wad of cotton with Vaseline on it.
Yeah, you're doing stuff like that to make it possible to. Because number one, you don't want to be spending hours on hours of your backpacking or your camping trip rubbing 2 sticks together.
Oh yeah. Well, and talking about fire starting, you've got to have tinder. You've got to have something that will get the fire started. Very fast flash, hot burning, and something I've found because we love startups here. I can't remember the exact name, but if you'll look up Blackbeard Fire Starter,
I was just trying to remember the name.
Yeah, it's a wad of rope, and I don't know how they make it. Some sort of modern technology, voodoo magic. It's essentially, it looks like fuses, like really thick black rope fuses.
You want me to tell you how they make this? Because this is what's called flash rope.
But anyway, well, you can get to that. But basically, I was watching a demo video. They were up in like an Arctic environment, and they took a whole wad of it. I mean, you get like a bundle this big, real lightweight. They sunk the whole thing in an ice fishing hole, soaked it for like 5 minutes, took it out, ripped some off, immediate flash. I mean, it was waterproof. It's really lightweight, awesome stuff, and it burns forever.
But the good thing about it, though, it was really affordable and cheap.
Yeah, it was like $20 gets you like a wad this big, and you don't need that much to start a fire.
Okay, so there's 2 ways of actually going about making that yourself. Also, one of them's flash cotton, one of them's flash rope. Essentially, all you do is take a tin, stab a hole in the top of it. I'm talking about like one of those cookie tins. Toss it on top of the fire. It's going to pull out all the moisture. It's going to make all of that really dense burning.
Well, it's going to char it.
It's going to char it. There's another way, which is a little bit more chemical. You mix it with nitroglycerin, pull it out, let it dry. That nitro is inside of it now. You put a light to it, and it's going to go.
I'm probably going to say that's the way they do it.
We do not recommend anyone attempting this at home, by the way.
No.
Yeah, they have a factory with science stuff and safety.
Look, if you're going to go hiking and camping, at least if you're not gonna take a lighter, don't go out there and try to
buy it. Don't try it.
Bear Grylls it out there yourself or anything else. I mean, if you're going to be listening to my packing list, at least pack something.
Well, again, if you're a primitive survivalist, go ham. That's you. But if you're not, and most people aren't.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing too. Everybody's packing list is going to be different.
Yeah. No.
Just for instance, RD's packing list. He is military background.
Mm-hmm.
He packs as a military personnel.
Yeah.
As a soldier. That's how you pack. And that's how you pack your bag. That's how you do everything. Well, I am a bushcrafter.
Yep.
So my backpack won't look the same as yours.
No.
Now we'll have a whole lot of the same elements,
Mm-hmm.
but we may have a different.
Well, it's the same ideas, different solutions.
Yeah.
Different solutions with it. I mean, you know, we talked about this when you was talking about that. You know, I'm a 3 or none guy.
Yeah.
You got, you know, when I pack my pack, I'm taking 3 of whatever I'm taking with me because
Yeah,
you know,
3 is 2, 2 is 1,
Yeah.
1 is none.
So I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way I've always and like say fire starter, just for instance, and I will have. We'll do this one day too. We'll bring some. We need to do that. We need to do a military versus bushcrafter.
Yeah.
Packing.
Well, we'll even go even
Showdown.
further because if you remember, amidst my ramblings, if you got through it last episode, I spent time as a bush hippie. I love primitive, just going in there raw.
But you know, I will take a actual striker, which
Yeah.
it's nothing more than but a flint striker that you'll
Yeah.
sit there and it'll make a spark.
Mhm.
I'll take usually a lighter, and I'll take waterproof matches.
How do you feel about the rods where you actually use like a ferro rod?
Okay, I will have one of them just simply because the fact is it's part of another kit that I have. So
Okay.
actually I would actually have 4. But as far as actually using the ferro rod, I've used them. I've started fires with them. But I would
you
rather just
can.
have that,
Yes.
and I would just rather have that little striker, so I don't have to sit there with my knife and do that. I can sit there and just flick that striker, and it pops it right
Have
up.
y'all seen? Okay, now this may just be getting completely off topic, but it's really not. It is relevant. But have you seen it's like 2 tubes. One of them's a piston.
It's a fire piston.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? It's a
Yeah,
fire piston.
fire
And you take. It's amazing to me. I don't know why. You put a little kindling down in the bottom of it, and you just pop the top of it, and then you've got fire.
Well, that's actually the modern solution to one of my favorite primitive fire sources, where you would hollow out a piece of dense wood, and then you actually basically would fit another piece of wood that was a little softer to it, and instead of one pop, you're basically pneumatically piston.
You're friction.
Yeah.
You're making friction with it.
But instead of doing this, it's a lot easier to pump it, almost like a bicycle pump.
Yeah.
But of course, the modern solution, you give her one go and she's ready, basically.
But like Pop says, this is my packing list.
Yeah, and yours will be
This-
different.
Yeah, yours will be different. This is just what RD carries
Right.
every time he goes out.
But it's a
hiking
good
or-
base. It's a
Yeah,
good baseline.
yeah, it's good, like starter kit, you would say. Which brings me to my next one, wet weather.
Gotta have it.
I am adamant on my wet weather tops, wet weather bottoms, wet weather headgear, because you're not the weatherman. You're not gonna know. I mean, you can look at the weather. Like,
No, Just take this area for example. We live in northern Alabama. Weatherman's going to tell you it's going to be hot. Guess what? You got flood coming.
Yep. And it's gonna be hotter.
Weatherman tells you
spring, that's spring and fall. You're guaranteed that more likely it's going to be raining at 3 o'clock every day.
well, go ahead and carry hot and cold, because here in this kind of climate, weatherman will tell you, oh, it's summer this week, and then next week you have a flash snow and there's ice on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that's
it's
just
crazy.
Just like with that situation there. We're going to do this.
No.
I mean,
This
you
is
bring
something I want to see now.
Yeah.
you bring. I'm assuming rain jacket, rain pants,
Yep.
cover, and all that. Whereas me being bushcraft, and you know, I'm going to bring a poncho.
I was going to say $2 poncho.
I'm going to bring a poncho that
You
I
got
can
ponchos
fold
as
up,
well?
stick it in there, because as a bushcrafter, you're always thinking multi-purpose. In the event that I need to, I can make that into a shelter.
But see, I use my poncho to protect my wet weather, like when I'm just having it out,
Right.
like when I hoist it underneath a tree or something. But wet weather gear is extremely important.
Vital.
Very important.
Yes, important.
Okay, yeah. The next one is just as important.
Yes, pay attention.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
this is the biggest deal on this entire list, I promise you.
reason why wet weather gear to me is important, it prevents like sickness and stuff. I mean,
No.
no one wants to be soaking wet and hiking for like 5 or 6 hours. I've done it. It sucks.
Good way to catch
But
pneumonia.
yes, it's a very good way
Well,
to
not
sick, and
just
I
that,
was
though.
sick.
You're gonna get rashes. You're
Yeah.
gonna get
Trench
you know,
foot.
Water
Yeah.
plus friction equals broken blisters every time.
You know, I'm gonna throw this out there, and this is the men's club, so you know it's a little harder. But you know, for instance, if you ever went to a water park, you go down the slides, you get in the pool and all that stuff. Where all of a sudden everybody wants to walk around, you start walking around, and you start getting them blisters right in your thigh where everything's rubbing together. It shouldn't be rubbing together.
Your giblets are all mushed up.
So I mean, you got that situation going on where you can avoid that.
Have become giblets.
Yeah, your giblets have become giblets, and you're kind of cowboy walking everywhere you go.
You can avoid that if you've got wet weather gear.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just talking about the even more modern solution, they make clothes that come in it, and then you can just buy the stuff to coat your own clothes. Hydrophobic sprays that will just waterproof your clothes.
No, I mean,
not recommended though for your everyday shirts.
Absolutely not.
It makes them harder to wash.
Yeah.
Now, and real quick before I move on to this next one, that's probably
I'm telling
the
you,
most important one.
Oh, period.
Your clothing, your wet weather gear. What are you going to do with it when it's already used? Like, let's say you go hiking or you go camping and you're getting rained on. Rain ceases. You're going to need some sort of, which I would pack in mine. I want to see your alternative to this one. I pack laundry bags. I pack wet weather laundry bags.
I know what his
cloth laundry bags and
yeah,
as
I know
well
exactly
as
what his
nylon wet weather bags.
garbage bag.
Garbage
there
bag.
you go.
Garbage bags.
Garbage bags.
Why?
Simple, cheap, and you can make a shelter out of them.
You can also tote water in them.
This one is the one that I think all three, bushcraft, primitive, and military, can agree on.
Let's go ahead and jump to this one. Footwear.
Yes.
Okay. Footwear comes in, well, two different things. You got socks and you got the actual shoes and or boots on your feet. Being in the Army, being in the military, we joke about it all the time. Socks. It's really no joke. It's probably one of the most important things you need to have on your feet.
You think you need 3 pairs of socks? You bring 6.
Yes.
Well, take care of your feet. I mean, historically, and that's where I say primitive. I mean, there are those primitive guys out there. I'm not one of them that like to do the barefoot thing. No. I don't like it. But you have to think. The Native American tribes, the Aboriginals, they all invented hide shoes for a reason.
Well, I mean, let's just do it this way. What you wearing right now? I got cowboy boots on. What do you got?
I got Crocs.
I got regular
tennis shoes.
Boots.
I wouldn't go hiking in any of these.
Nope.
I would. I'd hike in these.
Well, if you're wearing hiking boots, yeah. It depends on the kind of boot.
I'd hike in those boots.
Oh, they're like work boots?
But they've got traction soles. They're built for walking.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't go hiking in Crocs.
I'm not going to name any like specific brands, but like your total terrain, low cut hiking boot. And if you're really wanting to know what it is, it starts with a D and ends with an R. But
well, it's like my pair that you like so much. My T that end with a D.
Yeah. Personally, there's my favorite. I mean, I got my combat boots, of course, and the standard issue combat boots suck when it comes to hiking. But I got some like newer name brand stuff that's actually like built for hiking. It's built for taking on like rocks. It's built for taking on sloped environments, rough environments.
And here's something for you. You said low cut.
Yes.
I have a big problem with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Know your own body.
Yeah.
I don't wear low cut boots. Period. I've got weak ankles.
Yeah.
I am very prone to turning my ankles. If you have that problem, go with a 5 or 8 inch.
Goes back to what I said in the beginning. It depends.
Well, and I think too, and this is funny coming from the croc wearing bush hippie guy, but know your environment. Cold weather boots and hot weather boots, big distinction. Do not go buy a super lightweight pair of hot weather boots if you live in a cold climate, because you will be miserable and you're probably going to get hurt. And then something in the modern footwear that I recommend, because it's usually included on most of your good boots, get something with shock protection, because I mean, you getting out of a wet weather storm, lightning strikes, whatever, that shock protection is going to help you in that situation just as much as a work environment where you might have an electrocution situation.
And for the people that are going on the like long excursions, or if you're even camping 2 or 3 days and you're planning on going hiking and you're using these low cut or high cut hiking trail boots, goes back to socks. Take a break every I do 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
hiking.
when you get
Change
real
your socks
sweaty.
out. Change your socks out.
Wool socks.
Yes.
They absorb the moisture better. They wick your feet better. They keep your feet warmer better. They're just better.
And that goes
And
back
they've
to
got cushion.
And they've got cushion.
my laundry bag and my wet weather bag. Put the socks in there.
And let me say this too, and it's something that a lot of people neglect. And I've watched a lot of videos. I watched a lot of guys, and I've actually learned from a lot of guys about this. That, and I'm talking on the multi-day hike camping situation.
Right.
When you get to your campsite, take your boots off.
Yes.
Let your feet breathe.
If you have to sit up. If you got a pair of flip flops, throw them on.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's
Carry a
saying.
pair of Crocs.
I'll take flip flops with me. That they're strictly for my camp. They're camp shoes. That's what I wear them for. I have gone barefooted. I've just stripped off my socks, took off my boots, walked around the camp, especially if it was in an area where I wasn't worried about damaging my feet, like stepping on a rock or a root or a
briar.
snake or something. But
big old copperhead.
Yeah, so I would take them off so that they have a chance to recoup. Because it didn't matter what I wore, it didn't matter what I'm like you. That brand that you're talking about, love that brand.
Oh, it's great.
And the wool socks. Here's the thing: you're going after a long day hike, especially if you've really put in some miles. You're going to take that boot off. You're going to take that sock off, and your foot's going to be that color of that paper
and swollen.
And it's going to be it's either going to be swollen. Or in some people, especially if they haven't gotten enough water, it's going to be shrunk.
Yeah, dehydrated.
It's going to be very wrinkly.
Well, and that goes back even to the primitive side of things. You look at your indigenous tribes; they would normally carry a pair of like your high leg moccasin style boot for their trail and leg protection thorns. But then their camp boots, they would usually, or camp shoes, just your standard pair of leather thongs. Just something that your feet can breathe, no sock.
And I'm glad you mentioned wool socks. Get the wool socks that are appropriate for the weather.
Yes. They're again
don't
just
get
like
the winter wool socks when you're hiking in the middle of August.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
They make hot weather wool.
Here's the thing: you will, until you do something like this, you will never realize actually how much you sweat.
Yeah.
And the worst thing you can do, a lot of people think it's a good idea. It's actually the worst possible idea. Don't double sock.
No, don't
There's
do that.
2 big reasons why. The first, it doesn't let your foot breathe near as much and you sweat more, which leads to the dehydration and just the moisture with friction. And the other problem that people don't think about, if you double sock, then your feet won't get used to the shoe you're wearing. Don't go hiking in a new pair of boots. Wear them around. Even if you do the primitive thing, like I have to get a new pair because I've gotten fat, but leather moccasins. Break them into your foot and wear one layer of sock in those shoes because your foot will not get what's the word I'm looking for? Acclimated. The endurance and building just the tolerance.
Yeah, I mean,
and y'all gonna look at me crazy, but I actually learned this from a couple of group guys when we were out training in Yakima, and it would be like 18, 19 degrees max when we were out there in the winter. It goes against AR 670-1 to the core. Like the Army would just scold me if they knew that I wore.
Explain to our viewers what that is.
AR 670-1 is the wear and appearance of a military uniform.
It's a uniform code. What you have to wear, what you have to look like, the guidelines, etc.
Yeah. I wore ankle socks in the winter with them. Why? It's because the same thing. The rest of the guys were like putting on 2 layers of socks and stuff. It's like, man, it's so cold out here. Like, I got to double up. I'm like, no. I'd rather my toes be numb, but still their rightful color. Like,
well, and that's the thing, too, is the fact that if you get a good pair of cold weather boots, be the traditional thick wall moccasins or your modern cold weather combat boot or your more bushcrafter modern hiking boot, they will protect you almost as good as a full pair of wool socks with just regular socks.
I wore the white Fruit of the Loom high-rise white.
See, I get that.
My daddy socks.
I get that. I skied in Colorado. I went down Breckenridge Mountain in a pair of shorts and a set of skis and a T-shirt. There's pictures of me on the internet. There's pictures of me with the steam coming off me sitting on the back of the truck with that.
That's the perception it gives. Like, it looks cold, but in reality,
it's not.
It's not. It's hot.
Well, that's something that a lot of people don't realize either. And Batman hit the nail on the head. Your arms will take care of themselves. When you get cold, medically, what your body does is it shunts your blood to your core. Because all of this keeps you alive. These are nice, but you can do without the full function, being able to grip things, work with wire, whatever. You can go out in shorts and a short sleeve shirt because you got to think, the more you move, the more you heat up, right? So, I mean, it's an option, and it will help you keep from sweating through, because that's the problem. You wear cold weather, you sweat through it, now you're just wet and cold.
No. All right, we have talked a lot on footwear, but we've got to move on.
Change your socks, appropriate footwear.
If that's all you take away, change your socks.
Here's going to be another one me and Pop's going to have to battle it out on. I put it as weapons. It's more like tools. It could be used in self-defense as well, but I'm talking about like pocket knives, multi-tools, hatchets.
Here's the thing. Don't lie about it.
Yeah.
You know, he's more concerned with bringing his hatchet, bringing his knife, bringing his multi-tool. Whereas I guarantee you, because I've been around you for so long, you're going to have a gun.
Oh,
period.
Yeah. What you're going to need is a collapsible stock AK-47 in your backpack.
Well, on that point, not necessarily primitive, and I did post to the Instagram. So this is actually a preview. It's not the full thing, but primitive, 18th century. If you're into that kind of thing, that's a gun, right? They used to hunt with these, and if you're into that lifestyle, there are actually people that go out with the muskets, the long muskets, and do the primitive hunting. Not necessarily primitive, but colonial hunting. But it counts, right?
Oh.
My RD packing list would consist of a probably a standard little knife, like a pocket knife that you would buy at your gas station or something like that. Multi-tool.
Oh, yeah.
And my multi-tools brand name starts with a G. And you all know me. I'm going to have a bayonet on me.
Yeah.
Just because it serves a purpose of anything that I wanted to do.
If anyone knows anything about a Russian bayonet, they're wire cutters, they're knives, they're hammers.
Well, not even a Russian bayonet. I've actually fallen in love with the USMC issue. It's the OKC, Ontario Knife Company bayonet, and it's basically a machete with a sawback on it. And a point that you'll agree with me on, in a pinch, you've run out of ammo, you need to hunt. Spear hunting is far more effective than knife hunting. So essentially, if you affix bayonet to a rifle, you have created a spear.
Yeah. And I'm curious to see what would be your bushcraft alternative to my pocket knife, multi-tool bayonet?
Camp axe. Well, I would definitely take my axe with me. I would have a fixed blade with me. When I say fixed blade, at least 4 inches long.
Yeah, you need a good little.
Usually mine runs about 6 to 8, somewhere in there, depending on what I'm toting.
Well, about like a chef knife length, roughly.
Yeah, but actually, I tote more than you do.
Really?
Yeah, because I will carry my multi-tool, which my multi-tool starts with S. I don't mess with that G stuff.
I do L. I like the L multi-tools.
And
not all of us are poor.
But I have you know that costs more than that G did. And also, my pocket knife is always, and let me repeat this, is always a Swiss Army knife.
I was about to bring that up. Probably the best invention is the Swiss Army knife.
And for that one reason, you look at the history of the Swiss Army knife. It was meant for what we're doing.
Yeah.
And honestly, it just depends on the territory I'm going in, the place that I'm going in. If I'm going in someplace I've never been before, if I'm going in someplace that that if it's highly populated, I will carry a pistol. I'll have a pistol with me, and it'll be but
I'm not going to be a black powder Derringer or anything.
It's going to shoot multiple bullets very fast.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, it's not something that I'm relying on for hunting. It's not something it is strictly a self-defense tool.
Jordan, I want you to actually keep this paper and I want you to put it up somewhere, because one of these episodes, I want you to read off this exact same packing list, and me and him are going to have
head-to-head.
I want to take it a step further. I want all of us to set up a pack.
Okay.
We'll all do a different style, and we'll all just kind of that'll be awesome.
And then we'll let the
next
our
podcast.
viewers.
Next podcast we'll set up four different packs.
You've got a week from now.
And
set up your pack.
Okay, and we'll make parameters right now. Everybody set up a pack, and we're setting it up for a 3-day weekend trip.
Okay.
3-day weekend trip. All right.
And that way we can let our viewers actually vote, and we're like, well, I like Jordans.
Yeah.
And this is why I like Jordans as opposed to Pops.
Go in day 1, come out day 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're basically going overnight for 2 days.
Okay.
Correct.
And that brings me to my next topic. You need to know where you're going. And by that, I mean, location, compass.
Do these two together.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw in maps with that too.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to brag, but I'm pretty good at
We'll buy a local map, right?
Yeah,
to your area.
Yeah, anybody can get a local map.
All of us wasn't trained by the government how to do that. We had to learn it on our own.
No.
We had to learn it on our own.
There's a lot of people in said organization that fail this very course.
How do you fail this course?
It was funny when I was like 12 years old. I remember going to like the amusement park, like the big Disney World, and my grandparents were like gave my uncle the map, and we got lost. I was like, "Can I try?" And little 12-year-old me was like, "All right, we're going over here," and I led us to every point perfectly just because of how I was reading it. Like if you know halfway what you're doing,
yeah. I mean, which in a separate video, I'll probably 101 with you guys, teach you like the basic readings of a compass map, topographical maps. I'll go through all that with you, but you're going to need to know your location. You're going to need to know points of interest for you. You're going to need to know where you want to go.
Things. Where you at? Where you going? How to get there?
How are you going to get there?
And how to get back.
Four things. How to get back.
Yeah. And as the crow flies is not always the best way.
Those will definitely be packed in mind because maps is a pretty big deal to me. I mean, like I said, on 101, I'm going to get in touch with you guys a little bit more about this and how to shoot an azimuth, all that good stuff that comes with compass and map readings. But maps, it's a short, simple, like topic, a bullet point of mine. Know where you are, know where you're going, know how to get back. And that's it really for that one. I mean, you got anything to add on maps?
Maps and compasses are pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I mean, I do actually have one thing to add.
Sun rises in the east, settles in the west.
They have these amazing things now. They're called satellites.
Yeah.
And they will hit a handheld GPS just about wherever you're at. It doesn't need to be the only thing you're relying on because they still rely on batteries and visibility and all this other stuff. But if you have a pretty good handheld GPS, you can pretty much find your way.
Well, the thing to add to that and remember on that situation is always remember this: anything that is electronic will fail.
Yes. There's no may fail.
It can and it will fail. So to have an old-fashioned map, to have an old-fashioned compass that you can go to and look at and know what you're doing, you know, it's always good to have that. It's always good to have a backup for your backup.
And if you have a computer at the house and a printer and stuff and you're getting ready to go on one of these excursions,
turn off the good maps.
Go to Google Maps or something like that and then actually like print off the overhead view any kind of way that you want it.
You know, used to, and you'll remember this better than probably these two, and the only reason I remember it is because I used to work in a gas station. You could go to any old gas station, buy an atlas.
Yeah.
And you'd have a map of everything.
Oh, we used to keep a full country atlas, the big trifold atlas in the car. I don't know whatever happened to it, but I used to just sit on a road trip.
Still got one in my grandpa's car.
Yeah, I'd be like, I used to sit on the road trip, be like, where are we going? We're going to Chicago. We need to be taking this road. Like, talking on compasses, though, I won't reveal it here. It'll be a surprise for my packing list, but there are actually non-traditional ways to find your way, and I'm actually going to put one on my packing list.
It's using a sundial.
It's basically a sundial. You guys all know what I'm talking about, but it's something, I think you guys will think it's really cool.
All right, let's hit this last bullet point. Knock this thing out.
This is also extremely important if you're going to stay the night somewhere, or you're just... You didn't follow my direction on the compass or map and you couldn't find your way back, so now you're having
stuck.
to stay. Sleeping systems. Me personally, I don't like tents. I don't like single man tents or anything like that. I rock a sleeping bag and a poncho liner, and I cover that poncho up on that sleeping bag, and I cocoon myself with my nose sticking out because I like to breathe.
Yeah, I can't stand breathing hot air.
Yeah, it sucks.
Hammocks.
I was about to say that's definitely my go-to is either bring a hammock or you can usually improvise a hammock with your foliage if you're in a forested environment.
But that's what they say now. But you know the emphasis on the hammock is you've got to be somewhere that you can hang that hammock.
Yeah.
If you're mountain trail hiking, more than likely the higher elevation you get to, there's not going to be trees there. So then you do have to rely on a four-season tent or a small one-man tent or or some kind of a shelter that way. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's always a hammock, just simply because the fact is that where I hike at.
That's actually a really good idea in a future, not next week, but the next week, if they really like the packing list, we could do packing lists for different terrain, what we would bring in that situation.
I can't wait for all of us to actually go camping so we can actually implement our different ways and we can actually video and show them, because 9 times out of 10, and I guarantee I will have my entrenching tool and I will be digging a foxhole and putting my sleeping system in that foxhole.
See, I'm right the opposite. I like being off the ground.
Yeah, elevation.
Yeah.
Slope in a hole.
No. Well, that's the wonderful different style.
Yeah. But sleeping system's important. You can go to local huntsman store, like a Bass or a Cabela or anything such like that. They have single man tents.
Academy.
Yeah, I actually own one. They're like super affordable, $36, $40
two or
a piece.
three single mans and like
they weigh like 1.5 pounds.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, I mean,
just plug in more places to buy stuff because we just like stuff. I actually found I get a magazine now from one of the retailers I do, and that's Sportsman's Guide.
Oh yeah,
and it's awesome. I hope one day, guys, reach out to us. We'd love to work with you. But Sportsman's Guide has just about everything from military surplus, camping, clothes. One thing they sell is tents, and they're Guide Gear brand. And they sell your single man tents for like $20-$30. They actually sell a teepee tent that is like, it'll sleep like 15 people with individual rooms for like $200. Like, I know that seems really expensive, but you consider you can go buy like a 2-man tent that's $300-$400.
Yeah. We actually said this earlier. You can spend as much as you want to.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, think about the fact that, I mean, if you're the kind of person that likes your space, you can get a palace that packs down. It's like a little over a foot by like 6 inches. Goes on your back or in your pack or whatever, that will sleep way more than you if you just want to be that guy. You know.
But sleeping systems are important. I mean, you don't want to sleep on a cold, hard ground, or in the middle of August, you don't want to sleep on the hot ground out in the humid.
And the wet, too. Ugh.
It depends on how long you're staying out there. Like I said, me personally, I'm going to use a sleeping bag and a poncho liner. That's just me. I rough it. That's the way I like it. That kind of wraps it up on the sleeping stuff. I mean, it's self-explanatory. I mean, it's what you want to do. It's not, don't take, well, RD said, sleep on the ground in a sleeping bag. That's the best way to go. No, it's all preference.
Well, it's not, it's hard to say it's all preference, because a lot of it does have to do with what your terrain is, what local wildlife there is. Because, I mean, last time we used the hammocks, we had about an army of raccoons running around.
Small family decided that they wanted to camp same place we were.
Yeah. And at that moment, everybody else was on the ground, and I was like, "No, I'm glad I'm up here."
Yeah, because I mean, I literally had one of them, in a hammock. You kind of banana in the hammock, and your butt's always the slowest place. So I really had one that his back or her back or its back went on my butt.
You're like scooting, basically.
It kind of just scooted over. And that's a weird feeling at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I didn't go to sleep with an animal.
There was that time in Mount Hood, Oregon, where we all slept on the ground and sleeping systems and stuff, and we woke up and heard wolves.
The biggest reason
outside of our sleeping bag.
The biggest reason I'm a fan of getting up is, at least around here, most of your snakes are not arboreal, which means they climb trees. Pretty much the only ones that do are king snakes, and I'd much rather wake up with a king snake in my hammock as a rattlesnake in my sleeping bag.
Yep, 100% right.
I know it's not on here, but it's important as well. Hygiene, pack hygiene equipment, wash your butt, brush your teeth.
Quit being so nasty.
Yeah, quit being nasty.
There's one more that you didn't put on there. The one that I beat into you when we was talking about this list.
Just I forgot. So
bring a cigar.
He's gonna beat me again. So
the number one thing to take on any hike, kayak, bike ride, camping.
Oh, I know exactly where this is.
Kit.
First aid kits.
Always have a first aid kit with you. It can be as simple. It can be as simple as a Band-Aid and some
Flintstone brands.
Triple antibiotic.
Band-Aid, triple antibiotic, Benadryl, and ibuprofen, and you're set.
Or you can have one with you.
You can go all the way up to my when we do our ruck exercises. I bring a full field doctor's kit. I could take everyone here, gunshot wound, cut your arm open on a rock or whatever. I could nurse you up. Pretty much the only thing I don't have is blood bags for everybody's blood type. But
I even have snake anti-venom kit at the house.
That's do you?
Yeah.
Really?
I thought you knew that.
No.
But
Those are expensive.
Those are just things that you not really. You can get them.
The anti-venoms?
Yeah,
No, I got mine military surplus.
Oh,
but
probably don't work.
but I mean, that's just something that you should always. I mean, I have one in my vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had a situation come up this past Saturday. I was at a place and somebody said, "Hey, I need a Band-Aid," and I look over her and she's got blood coming off her finger. And I was like, "Okay, I've got a Band-Aid." You know, it's just little things like that. Yeah, I always keep first aid supplies with you because you never know when you're going to need them. And
well, that's why it's called first aid.
Right.
I mean, it's an emergency situation, and you never know when an emergency is going to creep up.
Yep.
But that's a good list. Mine's better, but that's a good list.
Yeah, I'm real excited for real excited for next week's episode to see 4 different styles of the same.
Let them decide that.
All right. Well, I mean, we've thrown down the gauntlet. Y'all tell us how y'all like this. This was a new style for us. We really enjoyed it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a good time.
Like
and I'll tell you,
said before, we can flip that switch from serious to fun. And
I'll tell you this too. Since we're doing a challenge with us, we issue a challenge to you. Next week's video, when it comes out, before you watch it, so you can't steal our ideas, get down there in the comments and list us your packing list. What are you bringing on a 3-day
No,
hike?
put them in this one. We're not going to steal your ideas. We've got our own ideas.
Yeah.
Put them in this one.
Yeah, my pack's already
I
packed.
literally wrote it.
My pack's already packed. It's ready to go. It's sitting in my game room right
Yeah.
now.
Tell you what, yeah, put them in this one. We'll read them, and whoever has what we feel between the 4 of us is the best, we'll put it up as the wild card for the 5th vote in our next video.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Real quick, business-wise, I've been harping on this the last 2 weeks, and I'm excited now.
Oh, we got the announcement finally?
Yeah, we got the Men's Club podcast will have a merchandise line coming up either next week. You know what? Yeah, it'll probably be up next week. A close friend of mine back in Washington, her name is Stephanie. We've been working side by side, not physically, but
It's been so hard to keep it from y'all.
Yeah, we've been working side by side very
diligently.
Diligently. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. English
Yes,
can't.
thank you, Stephanie, for everything you've done so
Yes,
far.
appreciate
You've been wonderful to work with, even with some of our craziest stuff.
One with the distance barrier.
Yes.
That's a big challenge in any professional relationship.
Well, the fact that she's willing to help us being 32 hours away, 36 hours away actually, is amazing. And but we're going to have a merchandise line, and which that's going to include hats, T-shirts. We're actually going to have Men's Club koozies and Men's Club decals. And there's going to be much more merchandise. I cannot speak English today. Much more merchandise to come.
Yeah.
But for right now, that's what we're starting with. Sizes are going to go all the way up to, I think it's 3X. I think that's the largest. And, of course, small.
Small through 3X.
Yeah.
And keep your eyes open. I probably don't think we'll have them out right now since it is summer. But all of your favorite designs, once our T-shirts go live, they will be available in cold weather, like long sleeve hoodies.
Yeah. Once that
come
time
winter.
period, yeah, like long sleeves, your hoodies. I'm gonna try and get us like toboggans. I know that we got a bunch of people that like to wear like toboggans and
The
everything.
what?
A beanie.
Boy,
Boggins. There's a difference.
We call them boggins.
There's a difference. We have boggins, and I think we'll have beanies, the ones that fit close and the ones that have the kind of roll, kind of dangle. There's a difference.
Either way, we'll discuss that difference later. The merch store is coming.
Yes.
When it is live, we will update you and we will post it everywhere, and there will be links in the description to it. But
We'll be wearing it.
Yeah, we'll be wearing it.
Wearing ours.
As of right now, links for the Twitter, the Instagram, and the Facebook are officially in the description. That was my screw up. They're there now. They may not work as hyperlinks, but just copy and paste. You know how to do that.
Yep. And as always, guess the flag up here. We have a different one every week. Guess it. Put it in the comments if you know what it is. Awesome.
With that, I've been Jordan.
It's been TJ.
I'm RD.
And I'm Pops. Ching ching pow.